we really deliver on what we say we're going to do for our clients when it comes to sustainability and high performance design. And we're there on our key projects, ready to be leaders and drive our clients, where we think that they want to go in the market.
Welcome to SSR On Air. I'm Mike Rogers, your host for this monthly podcast brought to you by Smith Seckman Reed. Tune in as I interview leaders, colleagues, and clients about what is going on internally at SSR and in the larger engineering community. Okay, so today we're here with Eric Scheffer and Victor Sayal from our Sustainable Solutions Group and what used to be Existing Building Commission. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how you guys are combining your forces within SSR to make something bigger and better. And welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Okay.
Exciting times.
All right. So we're going to start with softball questions so that you can kind of relax a little bit. And just I want you both to tell me a little bit about your story, where you came from, how you got to where you are. The Reader's Digest version, because we don't have too long. But just kind of go through that. Victor, why don't you start out, and then we'll let Eric chime in.
I was with Siemens before I joined SSR 14 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I have to say it was the best application that my wife did for me, or decision she made for me.
Your wife did that for you?
I was trying to look for another job and always find a reason not to look for one. So my wife saw this job opening for SSRCX for commissioning. She's like, Victor, I just applied for you for this project, for this position. I think you're going to like it. And as soon as she told me this, before she finishes, I got a phone call from a recruiter for SSRCX. She said, hey, would love to schedule an interview with you. Mm-hmm. And the rest is history, as they say. It was the best decision we've made. And SSR has really provided me with a lot of opportunities. I started from business development to project manager to operations manager to service line director. So that's what I love about SSR, the fact that it provides a lot of opportunities for the employees. Yeah. So it's truly a career rather than a job for me.
Absolutely. I agree. Eric, what about you? What brought you here?
Yeah, have always had a passion for sustainability, I think mostly since high school. Studied at Penn State sustainability in the built environment and worked in the contracting world for a handful of years after college. And then somehow found SSR and saw that we were starting a sustainability group here, and one of the folks that interviewed me was familiar with some of my graduate work at Penn State, and we hit it off. And yeah, similar to Victor, the rest is history.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm certainly glad you're both here. I've worked a lot with both of you over the years, and it's exciting to talk about. So let's talk. let's put a frame around a little bit about the services that you guys head up. So Sustainable Solutions. Let's start with that first, Eric.
Sure. Yeah. So within the former SSG or Sustainable Solutions Group, we primarily have focused on new construction sustainability related services, including green building certification, energy modeling, well building consulting and certification. And some of our services do go into warranty phase applications such as monitoring based commissioning, and then we have a couple miscellaneous services like energy auditing and facility benchmarking that kind of bleed into existing buildings, but that's not been our team's primary focus.
Yeah, I got you. And how long have we been doing that type of work here?
Exactly coming up on 16 years. I think it was spring of 15 years, spring of 2007. Yeah. So yeah, 15 years.
So early in that movement of sustainable kind of approach to things, it's kind of like commissioning was about 20 years ago, and that was early in the movement towards commissioning, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's been interesting to see the industry evolve to where, there was quite a long time where our team was, helping to, pull our clients in a direction that they weren't sure they were comfortable with or where the industry was going to head.
Yeah.
And now, in a lot of cases, we're having to keep up with our clients, or, we're on the same page now as far as where the industry's going.
Yeah, sounds good. So, Victor?
Well, we offer existing building commissioning that really is broken to very different services. It's from retro commissioning, which is really a building that has never gone through the commissioning process. Mm-hmm. So you come back and you want to bring it back to design, so you do this retro commissioning service. There's also recommissioning, which is existing building that has already gone through the commissioning process, but their performance have degraded over the years, so they're going to recommission it. So that's some of the services that we do. Our go-to approach really for existing building that we felt has the biggest bang for the buck for our client is the optimization of the building with all different flavors, whether it's continuous commissioning, whether it's monitoring-based commissioning. Mm-hmm. So there is no one-size-fits-all. Every building has its own challenges. Every building, we design the solution for it based on what the client needs and based on what their energy goals or patient comfort or issues that they are facing. Another service that we provide is troubleshooting of equipment to make sure the equipment are really functioning correctly. We also, for the past maybe 5 years or so, we've been also doing new construction design involved in it in terms of optimizing the control system or the design, mechanical systems way ahead of time, so the design comes already optimized and the owner doesn't have to pay twice for the control vendor to program it, twice for a commissioning agent. It just made a lot of sense. This is something that we actively do it on SSR projects. Yeah. And we've been doing it for almost 13 years, 13 to 14 years.
Okay, good. So who's a good candidate for that work? What type of facility, what type of owner is a good candidate for what you're talking about?
Excellent question. And I would say any facility that has, from whether it's hospital, MOB, office building, if they have a good building automation system, mm-hmm. then that will be the perfect vehicle for us to optimize their system. A lot of clients, pardon me, they pay so much money for a phenomenal building automation system, but they use it to a very, very limited capability. Right. Mm. And what our job is to go in and make sure we use it to its fullest possible ability.
Gotcha. So over time, the services that SSG has done and the services that you provide have evolved with the market. So what's the latest? What's the latest change or trend that you've seen affecting what you guys provide that gives SSR that edge in the marketplace, maybe?
Yeah, a couple recent changes really within the last couple of years in the sustainability realm would be health and wellness in buildings. Mm-hmm. We oftentimes have spent so much of our both marketing and operations pursuits in our teams focused on energy efficiency, which affects a couple percent of an owner's budget, whereas 90% of an owner's budget is in their people, right? Mm-hmm. And so the energy and water conservation is extremely important, but through health and wellness and designing buildings that are healthier for our colleagues and patients and mm-hmm. Patrons to occupy, if we can just incrementally affect the productivity or happiness at work or retention rates, it can have a big effect on a company's bottom line and just a big effect on the health of their workers. So that's been a evolution within the last couple of years.
There's a lot of studies out there, a lot of information out there about how productivity and just mental state is helped by that. So
yeah, absolutely. Lighting quality, daylighting with circadian rhythms, and how that affects your sleep quality, acoustics, and how noise, various types at work can distract or enhance your ability to be productive. And then probably the other area is carbon inventory, carbon reporting and reduction. Many both publicly traded companies are being and privately held firms that we work a lot with, and both competitors and clients of ours are being driven by their boardrooms and their constituents to really inventory the carbon emissions that they have as a company and work to reduce those in various ways, and that's been a big upswing in the market really within probably the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. What about you, Victor? You see anything new that you guys are getting into that's emerged?
Well, I think the receptiveness of the owners right now to invest into existing building commissioning. In the past, there's agreement that the new construction commissioning is really important right now, and that message took a long time to propagate and to be accepted widely by the owners community. Right now, especially with what's happening, whether from COVID and others, and pressure down on energy and carbon footprint, they're realizing that there's a lot of waste in a building that if you can capture, it's both good, as Eric said, to the tenant, to the patient, as well as to their bottom line, even though they no longer investing in a widget such as a new parquet floor in front of the elevator that the patients will see, because this is all mechanical room that none of the patients gonna ever walk into, hopefully. So the intention is, if you do good there, you're gonna save on so much downstream, and now selling that message and the acceptance of it is way much easier now than it was 5 years ago. At the same token, technology have changed tremendously from the building control system. So it's allowing the engineers to really think outside the box in terms of techniques to make the system more predictable. So it allowed us to really change and rethink how we use the building automation system and to what extent do we drive the envelope safely and reliably. And coupled with, obviously, is training of facilities. So everybody's realizing right now is that it's truly a win-win when all said and done.
Let me ask you a question about what makes us different, I guess. What is unique about what SSR brings to this that might be different in the marketplace or show a level of expertise that maybe others don't have?
I think I can start out, Victor, and then you can jump in. One thing I think we're well embraced within SSR. Our team has been here for 15 years. A lot of us have been, part of the team that entire time, and it can take a time period of years to build up trust, across a firm of this size. And, we do see a lot of firms that say they may bring what we bring to the table, but it's disparate. Their experts are not consistently brought into projects. And if they are, we really deliver on what we say we're going to do for our clients when it comes to sustainability and high performance design. And we're there on our key projects, ready to be leaders and drive our clients, where we think that they want to go in the market.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you said, Eric. And I think it's important to note that the major difference is that we pick our teams for depending on what the project scope of work is. And every team that we pick will have a minimum 25 to 30 years of total experience. Not a lot of firms can come and say that. The second thing about it is the fact that we believe in putting the right person on the right bus on the right seat, meaning I'm a controls expert, and if that's all I do, that's the experience that I can provide as a subject matter expert to the client. I can easily commission electrical system, but we have an electrical group that does that. We don't want somebody who's jack of all trades and give the client just general knowledge of everything. We want to give the client, each client, the same level of level experience, which means he will get the subject matter expert on every piece of equipment that they're trying to optimize or they're trying to commission. And not a whole lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
Our team is also really diverse with our technical backgrounds and expertise that we bring. Victor, background in controls. We have someone with a PhD in mechanical engineering, several professional engineers, folks with background in construction, a couple architects on our team. So, with such a variety of folks, it's almost 100% guaranteed that someone on our team is really going to have a connection with whatever background our client is from. And I think that's a real advantage.
That is. So let me ask you one more thing, and then we'll see if there's anything that I missed along the way. But if you had a message to send out, you want to get it to our clients. It's got to go through our project managers. It's got to go through our CRMs for the most part. It can go through your contacts as well, but that's a huge avenue. So what's the thought? What's the message that you would send out to those guys?
Yeah, I think one of our primary messages is, SSR has a, dedicated team or center of excellence focused on building optimization and sustainability. Mm-hmm. And for, you, our clients, from your, concept level through, construction documents, phase designs, and warranty, and the operations of your buildings, there are a lot of services we offer that you may not even be aware of that have very, very favorable ROIs and can really have a tangible impact on the bottom line, of your operations, as well as the thermal comfort and well-being of your colleagues in your buildings. And so we'd love to, have the opportunity, SSR colleagues, to meet with you and explain how we can help your clients and make some introductions.
Bring some solutions.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Our CRMs are very close to their clients, and as such, I think they'll be able to hear them on what needs they have, what issues, what keeps them up at night. Mm-hmm. As we share that information, we may be able to provide solutions to these things, and that should kickstart the conversation between us and their clients. Like, hey, you know what? We have this team that does this, and here's what they're thinking. Remember the problem about your chiller cycling? Here's what they think that can be done. Mm-hmm. So that's one way to kickstart a conversation. It doesn't always have to be a huge production, doesn't always have to be a proposal. It can be as simple as a conversation, even a lunch conversation with the client, to understand their needs and tell them, here's our experience, here's how we dealt with something like this in the past.
Yeah, I like that. Good conversation.
Same here.
Yeah. So appreciate you guys coming in today. I know a little bit of travel for you, and it's good to have you on the show, and safe travels back home.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mike.
Right. Pleasure.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of SSR On Air. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. You can also connect with us on social media. Links to everything can be found in the show's notes. Take care, everyone. See you next time.